Hi, I'm Dave. I have a home, and I have a family, and I have tons of projects. Come see what I'm working on. My next project is toy blocks for kids. This is a great project because it's something that's fun for the kids, and also something that you can use a lot of scrap pieces for. In fact, when I was growing up, my dad used to make blocks just like these that I'm going to make. He worked in a cabinet shop and would use leftover particle board and use that to build these blocks. And so I grew up with blocks just like these. He made them for the neighbors and their kids, and it was always really fun to play with. The key to these blocks is proportion. You want each block to be about this shape. I'm going to be making all of my blocks 3/4 of an inch thick, which is the standard thickness for sheet goods like particle board if you're going to make it out of that. I'm actually going to make it out of hard maple or rock maple, sugar maple, all the same thing. I have a ton of it, and so and I also have a lot of cutoffs, and I'm going to use scrap pieces that I'm going to use. Maple's really great because it's not going to cause any allergic reaction if the kids put it in their mouths. It's not going to fall apart. It's very stable. You could paint it if you wanted to. It's very easy to sand, and so it's a great wood to use. But like I say, the key to this project is really about proportions. So if it's 3/4 of an inch thick, I want the width of it to be about 3 times its thickness. So from 3/4 of an inch, we're going to go to about 2 1/4 inches thick. That gives it a good proportion again for building things and for kind of putting things together. It makes it a good width. From there, I want my height to be 2 times the width. So the height is going to be about 4.5 inches. And so again, that makes it really great for building and for playing, because these blocks will all fit together. Random sized blocks aren't really fun because it's hard to build stable things for the kids. And these blocks, again, have a really great shape because you can also use them as dominoes. The first step is to plane all of the boards. Now, again, because I'm using rough lumber, I need to straighten everything out. And so I'm going to be using jointer in order to do that. And what I'm doing is I'm running the wood across to get at least 2 sides straight, one face and one edge. And that will make it easier as I use other equipment to flatten it out to the right thickness and to then cut it to the right width. After I've planed all the boards, the next step is to use the thickness planer. And this will, again, plane the opposite side that is not straight and get it down to the right thickness as well, which again, I want to be 3/4 of an inch. Once the boards have been run through the thickness planer, the next step is to cut them on a table saw. Now you could cut them to the exact thickness you want, which again is 2 1/4 inches. But for me, I'm going to cut them a little bit thicker because I'm actually going to run them through the planer again just to get it to exactly the right thickness that I want. After I've cut these strips that are the right width, that are the right thickness, I'm going to sand them all. It's easier to sand them in larger pieces rather than after they're cut into small pieces. So I sand them all, and again, maple is really easy to sand, but you definitely don't want to have any, slivers or anything like that for the kids. So make sure that you sand them well, sand them smooth, so there's no burrs or anything else that would cause a sliver or anything like that. After sanding the larger pieces, the next step is to cut the widths. I have a guide piece that I use every time. Every time I cut, I always use the same piece to measure. That way I don't have to use a measuring tape on every single piece. And these aren't exact. Not everyone has to be exactly the same. Pretty close is just fine. So I use that same piece. The key is to use the same guide piece. If you use one piece and then cut and then use the piece you just cut to measure again and then cut, you run the risk of eventually cutting shorter and shorter and shorter. So make sure that you're always using the exact same guide piece as you cut the pieces to the right length. Once you've cut the pieces all to the right length, the next step, and really the last step, is to sand the edges that you just cut. Again, as you use any kind of saw, you're going to have some pieces that might come off, so you just want to make sure that you sand all of those smooth. So I hope you enjoyed that project. It's fun to build something that the kids will really enjoy. Blocks like these, especially made out of maple, are going to last forever. If you enjoyed this video, make sure that you hit that like button. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this of projects that I do around the house or for the family, for the kids. Was that fun? Yeah? Did you like it? Yeah? Should we do it again? Okay.